Okay, here we are. Episode 20.
We good to go?
Good to go.
Whether it makes you laugh, cry, scream, or fly, there's a song for every emotion. We are Mike and Priya, and we talk about the songs that make up the soundtrack to your life. Because life is what? Life is in the lyrics. We got it.
Hey everyone, welcome to Life is in the Lyrics. My name is Mike.
And I'm Priya.
We are the co-hosts of this fantastical podcast.
Yeah, that's us.
I don't know what's happened in the last couple of weeks, but as of our last episode, there was a spike in
listenership?
in listenership.
Like what kind of a spike?
I don't know. It was just kind of weird.
Millions? We've got millions of people now?
Yes, there are billions and billions.
Amazing.
Yeah. No, but it was weird. I was looking at the stats and all of a sudden there was like this big spike in listenership. So
Folks,
I don't know.
Mike is obsessed with the stats.
I am. It's not like I'm just really interested to see whether there's any change after an episode.
And apparently there is.
Yeah.
Did you notice which episode that spike followed? Like,
it was the last episode.
So that was the one about falling out of love.
No, we haven't released that one yet.
So that was the one about cheetahs, lions and cheetahs.
Lions and cheetahs, yeah.
Oh, that struck a chord.
I guess, yeah. Yeah. So interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, how you doing, baby?
Well, you know what? I feel like my week is going to be way less exciting than yours because you was away.
I was, it's true. It was spring break here in Canada, and Dawn and I went away.
For the university level.
Yes,
That's
for university.
funny because so you've been away for university spring break. I'm going away for high school spring break.
Are you?
Well, it is during spring break, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or elementary school. But elementary and high school, I think, have the same. I can't say it.
I think it depends. And it depends from university to university as well. Not all universities have the same week.
That's confusing.
Yeah, it is. But
Okay.
anyways, Dawn and I were away, and it was very nice. It was a bit of a drama getting out of the city.
Tell us where you went.
Oh, we went to California. We went to Palm Springs. Love it there. Very easy place to vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had booked the trip before the election.
Okay.
And then with the election results and then all the threats of tariffs and all of that, we were thinking, oh, maybe we should cancel. But we thought, okay, well, everything's paid and we've already booked everything. So we're just going to go. We went. It was absolutely gorgeous. 25 degrees, sunny every day.
And in the
perfect
desert,
weather.
how does that feel? Does it
It's
feel hotter than 25?
No, it just feels perfect because it's dry.
Yeah.
It's very dry heat. And and so we went to this place that's a gay resort, clothing optional. And there's a lot of these small kind of boutique hotels. Most of them are kind of these vintage buildings that have been converted. So, there's about, 20 rooms and a pool in the courtyard.
It's very Melrose Placey.
Yes. Actually, this place we went to is very much like, it did remind me of Melrose Place in terms of its physical layout.
Right. With the pool and all the rooms around it.
Yeah.
I love that.
It was great. And we met some nice people. It's not like a super sexually charged environment either. It's clothing optional, but it's because you're all enclosed and it's just a bunch of guys. And not everybody is naked, but some people are. And it was just so relaxing. I basically laid on a chaise lounge by the pool, sometimes in the sun, sometimes out of the sun, lounge
Sounds
around
amazing.
in the pool. The pool was 90 degrees, so it was really like a lounging pool. And there was a hot tub and just read some books and chilled for 3 days.
Nice. Sounds amazing.
But getting out of the city was a bit of a drama because, as you remember, last week, at the time of recording, this is a week after Toronto experienced some significant snowfall. So there was all that snow that we received. I think it was on like the Thursday or the
Thursday
Friday.
and Friday?
Yeah.
No, it was like Thursday and then we had it Saturday overnight through Sunday.
Oh,
we
yeah,
had 2
that's
days
right,
very
yes.
close of these crazy storms.
That's right. Yeah. And so there was already crazy amount of backlog at the airport. And then we left on the Tuesday. On the Monday, there was a plane crash.
Right.
And that backed everything up even more. But we were only about 45 minutes late. There was this family in front of us, and this little girl, I think she was about 4, she was totally fine sitting with her grandmother.
Hmm.
Her mom was sitting like 3 seats away, and her mom was like, oh, she needs to take a pill. And the kid didn't want to take her pill, and it was to make her not sick. The whole flight, she was fine. She took the pill at the beginning of the flight.
Oh, she did. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Whole flight, she was fine, completely distracted. Just as we're about to land, the mother goes, oh, honey, are you okay? How's your tummy? The kid kind of looked up, barfed.
Oh.
And then when we arrived at the airport in Palm Springs, because we had been a little late,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have a gate for us. So we had to sit on the plane, and this girl was right in front of me.
Disgusting.
And she had barfed, and it stunk so bad. It was disgusting.
I'm surprised it wasn't a domino effect of people behind her just puking.
No. But, then we spent 3 days by the pool in the
Yeah.
sunshine. So really, I'm not complaining. I had a great little break from this winter.
Yeah.
So that was my week. How was yours?
The week was pretty good.
You got some exciting things happening coming up.
Yeah, well, I'm moving, so that part itself is not exciting, like the prospect of packing up. I've only been in my current place, like just over a
know.
year. But a friend of mine
You know
and
all
I,
I can think of, though?
what, that you're going to have to take down the fans?
I have to take down those goddamn ceiling fans. I only
Aren't you-
put them up like 8 months ago.
Aren't you glad you didn't have to put up the chandelier?
Yeah.
That goddamn chandelier.
No, I drew the line at the chandelier.
You sure did. And so did I. I was like, it's not worth it.
No.
So my friend and I are moving in together. We went to see some houses today, and we saw 3. One of them was really cool, but in so many weird ways. So it had a 3rd floor that's kind of like yours, which is what would you call it? It's kind of like
Cathedral?
a cathedral style. Yeah.
We don't have a cathedral.
Never mind that part then. So it was kind of a cathedral.
We have a flat. Our roof is flat. Oh, sweetie.
think I
Are you sure it
imagined
was
that.
cathedral?
Yes,
In the
it
house
was.
you looked at?
Yes,
Okay.
it was. It was a peaked ceiling, and then
Okay.
there was a skylight on one side of it. Anyway, so we saw 2 other places in that, and we liked them both.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to put in offers on both of them and see
Nice.
if one of them pans out, hopefully.
Great.
The
Good
first
for
one
you.
we went to, though, there were other people looking at it as we were there, and we were like, what the fuck are those people doing here? Get the fuck out of our house.
When do you think you'll move in if you get it?
I think one of them is for April 1st.
Oh, I'm going to be away that week.
That's okay. We are going to take our time moving in, so
Mhm.
you can come in anytime
I
after.
think a lot of that time
No,
I'm going
don't
to be
worry.
busy.
We can work around your schedule.
I'm so busy in April.
I mean, it might make the most sense for you to just come one day and take them down from my current place and install them at the new place at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All
So that
right.
was my week. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything
Well,
else
good.
exciting? Can you tell? I am curious about the food.
No, the food was fine. We went to some restaurants, and that was nice. And then one night we went to an underwear party.
Yeah, I'm curious about this. Was this at the hotel?
No, this was at a bar,
Okay.
tool shed.
So do you just how do you walk into that party? You don't walk into it in your underwear.
No, you walk in with your clothes.
Okay.
You check in at the clothing check. They give you
It's
you
not
a
a
bag.
coat check. It's a clothing check.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they give you a bag to put
Mm-hmm.
your clothes in, and then you hand it back, and somebody watches your clothes while you walk around in your underwear and you drink beer and socialize.
And dance?
No, this wasn't really dancing. This
Oh.
was like more standing around socializing. And it's great because we've been to Palm Springs a few times. We have friends that live there and bump into people, and it is kind of weird, but they have underwear parties in Toronto as well.
Do they really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. This is not for the hetero crowd at all?
No.
Ever? I guess that would
No.
be weird. Yeah. It would be.
Yeah,
You
I think
couldn't
they
trust the men in
They're
that.
probably like swingers clubs that do that sort of thing. But no, this is not a hetero. Although there were some lesbians there, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had to take Don home because he had maybe drank a little too much.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh my God. I would love to see Don hammered.
Yeah, he was pretty drunk. He was so I don't know. He processes alcohol so well. He was not hungover the next day.
Lucky.
We were standing outside waiting for our Uber, and he turned to me and he goes, I love you. I was
Oh,
like, oh my God, you are so drunk.
That's so cute.
It was very cute.
That's
Yeah.
very cute.
So that was my week. And now we're back. And
Now
here
we're
we
back.
are recording our episode.
Yeah.
And what is this episode?
Well, we're doing something a bit different this week.
Mm-hmm.
Usually we have like a theme based on how music impacts our lives, like an emotion it conjures up or something.
Mm-hmm.
But this time we're talking about actors who've had number one hits.
Mm-hmm. I actually did not go with just the number one hits.
Okay.
I was thinking like the top in the top 10 sort of
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, sure. Because
Yeah.
there were lots of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of the people who actually are on the list have had multiple hits. Not all of them made the top spot, but a lot of them made the top 5.
Mhm.
So I have some of those mentioned here, but this is a rabbit hole that there's actually there's quite a few people.
Yeah. And I think the other thing for our listeners to note is that we're talking about actors
Yes.
first
Yes.
who recorded music
Yes.
where their music became a number one hit.
Not singers who've then gone
Yeah.
on
So
to become
not
actors.
Lady Gaga
Not Lady Gaga.
kind of category.
No, although she
More
will
like
come up.
Bradley Cooper kind of
Exactly.
category. Right.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do this in chronological order because it just made sense to start from the way, way back when,
Mm-hmm.
before maybe lots of our listeners were born. You know?
Well, there's a song that I have on the list. It hit number one in Canada
Uh-huh.
and Australia, but it did not get to number one in the US. It was number
Okay.
2 in US. And it was in 1968. So
Oh my God.
the year before I was born.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Can
And
you?
I picked this out because I think you'll really like it.
Okay.
Well, there's some
Will I
things
have heard of
about
it?
it that
Do you think?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
you probably will have heard of a version of it.
Okay.
But there's a connection to this version,
Okay.
which hit number one in Canada, that I know will be something that you
Well, that's
like.
chronologically, that's going to be the first one we're going to talk about. So go for it. Are you going to read some lyrics and see if I can guess?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me do it. Someone left the cake out in the rain. I don't think that I can take it because it took so long to bake it.
God.
And I'll never have that recipe again.
This sounds like a Dr. Seuss book.
Do you know what song?
Is it It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want to?
No.
No, I have no idea.
No?
No.
You probably have heard the disco version by Donna Summer,
Okay.
MacArthur Park.
Okay. Yes, I'm sure I've heard this song because I know the title of it, but I cannot, for the life of me, remember how it goes.
So the tune that goes with that, those lyrics that I just read out is, someone left the cake out in the rain. I don't think that I can take it because it took so long to bake it. And I'll never
Yes.
have that recipe again.
Okay.
So that song was number one in 1968. It was recorded in 1967.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, let me just double check that, make sure I got that right. Yes, 1968, and it was recorded in 1967, and it was sung by
I'm so curious.
Richard Harris.
Oh.
You know who
From-
Richard Harris is?
From Harry Potter.
That's right.
Dumbledore himself.
Dumbledore. Yes.
My God.
So
Did he start off as a singer?
He didn't start off as a singer. He started off as an actor.
Okay.
He went to the Royal Academy of Theatre or something in England.
Right.
And so he was an English actor
Uh-huh.
or an Irish actor, and he recorded this song. He recorded other albums, like he was.
I had no
yeah.
idea.
Yes, yeah, and I know you're a huge Harry Potter
Huge.
fan. So I saw this when I was looking up, our actors who had number one
Mm-hmm.
hits, and I thought, oh, I bet you wouldn't pick this up.
So I have something interesting to say related to Dumbledore.
Okay.
So you know that they're making a Harry Potter TV series.
Mm.
And did you know that?
I knew that there was some sort of reboot of Harry Potter, but I didn't know it was.
They're making a TV
Okay.
series, and I believe one season per book.
Oh,
So
okay.
you know who is reportedly in talks to become Dumbledore?
No. Who?
It's an interesting choice. John Lithgow.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
I know.
Wow. Okay.
It makes me wonder if they're gonna give him a British accent, or if they're gonna take away the accent from everybody, or what they're gonna do with that.
I could see him being Dumbledore.
I could kind of see it too, but I can't hear his voice as Dumbledore.
He was in Footloose.
Yeah, I just can't imagine. Mhm.
Footloose.
Love that movie.
Is that song on your list?
No.
Was that a number one?
Yes, but
Oh,
well, I
no,
don't-
but that actually,
but that
yeah,
wasn't
but that
sung by
wasn't
Kevin
sung,
Bacon or
That was
anything.
just, I was thinking about Kevin Bacon.
Okay. So that's really interesting that Richard Harris, right?
Yeah.
Not Mike Harris. That was a politician
That
here.
was politician.
That's very cool, though. I'm going to have to look him up and listen to his voice. Did you hear the song?
Yeah.
How
yeah.
does he sound?
He sounds great. I mean, it's interesting when you listen to recordings of musicians back then. Like, the music now is just so auto-tuned, and it's so, it seems like it's so much more produced. So, yeah, listen to it, and then,
okay.
Yeah, we'll put a link in our social.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd like to. In our social. Look at Mike.
social.
He's getting so good. Okay, so we jump from 1968, a whole decade forward, to a song that we know very well from our karaoke days, Mike. This is John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, yeah.
You're the one that I want.
You're the one that I want. Honey.
Yeah, I love this song so much. It was number one on Billboard, but also Summer Nights, the other song from that, hit number 5. So,
How old were you when Grease came out?
oh my God, 6 years old.
Okay.
So I definitely did not watch it when I was 6 years old, but somehow this movie has always been a part of my growing up.
Yeah. It's got staying power. I have very vivid memories of this soundtrack album. We lived on a street, and most of the houses on our street were families of kids that were all around. We were all around the same age. And there was a family, the Potmas, they lived about 5 houses down, very religious Christian family. But Mary Lynn, who was the oldest, she was my age, she had this soundtrack. I don't know how her parents allowed her to have this, given how, religious they were. And I can remember, so I would have been about 8 or 9. And I can remember us being in her bedroom playing this record and singing and jumping on the bed and doing all that, like she would do the girl parts and I would do the boy parts. And
It was there's a lot of great songs from this soundtrack.
Well, it's a great movie. The soundtrack is
fantastic soundtrack. Fantastic movie. A lot of people who have seen Grease 2 say that was a better movie.
Okay, I have heard I've heard a lot of people's panned Grease 2.
I pan Grease 2. That's why whenever I hear somebody saying that to me, I'm like, really? What did you like about it? I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer. I love Michelle Pfeiffer. Love her. Yeah. But how can you replace the chemistry of John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John? You just can't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I might have to give that a second watch, but I remember watching it the first time and just thinking, they've got it all wrong. None of these characters is hitting for me.
Whereas, and Channing Tatum?
Channing Tatum? No. No.
Not Channing Tatum.
Yeah, you're thinking.
Channing.
Yeah.
Something Channing. She was Rizzo.
Oh, Stalker Channing.
Stalker Channing.
Oh, right. God, her song that she sings in it.
There are worse things I could do
than go with a boy or two.
Or two.
Something like that. I don't think that's quite the lyrics, but something like that. The lyrics of this song, if we're talking about lyrics, maybe not. Some of these songs have really questionable lyrics, and it just goes to show, I think, the evolution of songwriting and how certain decades and eras had really strong songwriting, and then some, like maybe the 80s, had really not so strong.
What song is this?
This is You're the One That I Want.
Okay.
I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control, 'cause the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. The lyrics are a little bit ridiculous, but maybe kind of sexy for the time. I don't know.
Well, it was kind of written for
power you're supplying. It's electrifying.
Yeah. I think if it was written for the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think these songs, they're written with a certain
That's true.
kitsch in mind, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So the whole kind of feel of the movie
feeds into the ridiculousness of the and when you think about where in the movie this was, it's at the very end. Remember when
with the
Sandy
car
goes through this entire the car
that flies in the air. I always found that the weirdest ending to that.
They're at the fair, I guess, the county fair. They go on the roller coaster and everything, and they're doing all the rides, and then they get in this car and they fly off into space.
That must have been so much fun to film.
It must have been. All of these dance sequences, all of the sequences for the songs in this movie amazing.
Yeah, they must. Yeah, it must have been so much fun.
But I remember thinking, oh my God, how sexy. Look at Sandy. She went from being such a nerd, goody goody two shoes, to being this tight leather pants wearing, pink lady with her hair all
Was
crazy
she-
curly.
Was she your inspiration for when you wore the high heel shoes and you slid down the wall trying to look all cool?
I had many inspirations for that, and none of them made me look cool in that moment.
No.
Not a single one.
Well, that's a great pick.
Yeah.
I like that one. And so
Yes.
that was when 1978.
That was 1978.
Okay.
Yeah.
1978.
So now we're jumping, unless you have something before 1987, we're going to jump another decade.
No, I have something before 1987.
Then we're not going to jump a whole decade. Go.
I want to talk about, one of the songs that I picked was The Rose
Yeah.
that Bette Midler.
Okay.
Yeah?
I have that, but oh shit, I didn't put but I have a
It's
different.
1979.
Really? Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. From the film The Rose. Now, did you know that this song was not written for the movie?
No, I didn't.
So it was a song that had already been written, and I don't know if it had been recorded, but it certainly had been performed by the artist Amanda McBroom.
Okay.
And it was one of the songs in a list of songs that were submitted to, I guess, the person who's putting the music together
Right.
for the film. And
I think they call that a music supervisor.
the music supervisor.
I
There
think,
you go. Yeah. And Bette Midler fought to get this song.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some say love, it is a river. That's
Yeah.
some of the lyrics, right?
Yeah. Do you read? How old were you in 79? So
I
you
guess would've been
so
7.
you would have been 7. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember this song from elementary school as well. And I remember when we'd have the school dances, like this was one of the songs that,
Aw. That you'd sway to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the song, you'll notice that the song actually doesn't have a bridge.
Okay.
It just has 3 verses.
Oh, so there's no chorus either?
No, there's no
It's just
chorus.
3
there's no
verses.
bridge. Yeah. Just 3
That's
verses.
Interesting.
Yeah. And if you read the lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
it's really quite a moving song.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I read this book on my vacation called The Great Believers,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of
Fiction, nonfiction?
it's fiction,
Okay.
and it's beautiful,
Mhm.
and I was bawling my eyes
Are you
out
getting teary right now?
a little bit. I was bawling my eyes out on the plane. I had to stop reading the book because I was just.
What's it about?
It's a really interesting book about friendship and love and loss, and about life, but the story evolves around, and it kind of goes back and forth between this group of gay men who are friends in the 80s, in the height of the AIDS crisis, to 2015, where the sister of one of the first characters in the book who dies of AIDS, she's now a mother and a grandmother, and her daughter is living in Paris, and they've been estranged, and she's trying to connect. And so the book goes back and forth between those 2 periods.
Okay.
And it's so beautifully written, and it's so lovely. And the theme of love and connection and the fear around that period during the AIDS crisis, when they're just coming out of this 70s liberation,
Yeah.
and gay people were just starting to get a sense of freedom to be out. And, they were still getting beaten up, and there was still a lot of stigma, but there was this beginning, and that was cut dramatically short when the AIDS crisis hit, and all kinds of other catastrophic things happened around love and the openness and that connection. So I read that book, and then I was thinking about the lyrics of this song as I was listening to it. And the song starts out talking about how love is a river that drowns the reed. It's a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Like it's a harsh, terrible, painful thing. And then the singer says, "But I say love is a flower, and you its only seed." And it's like she's saying, you need to love yourself to be able to
Right.
love others. Or
If
to
you
be able to
can't love
give
yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else?
Exactly.
As Mama Rue says.
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
RuPaul.
Oh, okay.
How do
I'm a
you,
bad
as
gay. I didn't know that Mama Ru. I didn't know she was named Mama Ru,
Well,
number
that's
one.
what
But
everybody calls her. All the contestants call her Mama Ru.
oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's her famous saying is just, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love someone else?
Yeah.
And it's 100% true.
No, it's totally true.
Yeah. So read some more of those lyrics if you have those.
So, yeah, okay. So the song's, it says, some say love is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love is a flower and you its only seed. And then I'll just read the whole song because there's only 3 verses.
Only 3 verses.
Yeah. It's the heart afraid of breaking that never learns to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never takes the chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give. It's the soul afraid of dying that never learns to live. It's like...
It's quite beautiful.
It is so beautiful. And it's like this, your fear of having your heart broken, your fear of it going wrong gets in the way of your fear of love.
Or your desire for love.
It gets in the way of you experiencing love.
Right. Yeah.
And, after reading this book that I ended up finishing last night, before I went to bed, I had to finish it. We got off the plane, we got home, unpacked, and I had to finish this book. And so this has been playing on my mind. And then the lyrics to this song is just like, it's just so... Life can be so cruel and beautiful at the same time.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
And the thing about like that song, and we're going to talk about another Bette Midler song soon, actually. Beautiful lyrics, beautiful. And even the song itself is quite beautiful, but it is a bit melodramatic in the instrumentation of it. Like just in the melody of it, it's a bit over the top. So I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just the era in terms of how the melodies were, how kind of melodramatic music was in terms of ballads, I guess.
So you're talking about this song or the song the other song you're going to talk?
Because this song too, like it's a beautiful song. But when you listen to the song, it does sound a little cheesy.
Well, it really was of an era though, right?
Yeah,
like I
that's what
don't
I'm
think
saying.
back then when it connected with people were thinking so much. If people weren't into this genre of music, they might have thought, "Oh, how schmaltzy."
Right.
But I think, it obviously resonated enough for it to become a number 1 hit.
Yeah, because that was probably the era, right?
Yeah.
And that's what music was like back then.
And do you know what the film The Rose is about?
No, I don't know if I've seen that one.
You should watch it because it when what was that movie with Shallow? Why am I drawing a blank?
Star is Born.
Star is Born. There's a lot of similarities in that kind of film. Like it's about it's actually it's not a biographical story, but it's inspired by Janis Joplin's life.
Oh, okay.
So it's about this female singer, and she's, an alcoholic and a drug user, and, she falls in love, she falls out of love, a heartbreak, lots of exciting things that happen in the film, and she ends up having an overdose and dying on stage as she sings her last song.
God.
Pretty intense.
On stage.
Yeah. But it did remind me as I was looking at some clips, I'm like, oh yeah, this totally reminds me of A Star is Born. It's got some of those elements, that similar kind of elements to
And
it.
probably that movie came out at the same time, like one of the versions of it, right? Well, we have one song in between the Bette Midler one, but I do think it's interesting that so far a couple of the songs that we've been choosing have been from movies, and this is another one from a movie. This is from Dirty Dancing.
Oh, yes. And we've talked about Dirty Dancing as well.
We have. I love that movie. It is a classic, and it's one that holds up.
Yeah.
It holds up, even though it is very...
The lyrics are so cheesy.
Oh, for this, the song doesn't necessarily hold up.
Okay.
But the movie holds up.
But the movie does, yes, yeah.
So we're talking about Patrick Swayze. She's like the wind.
Through my trees. She's like the night next to me. I feel the breath on my face.
I mean...
I feel your breath on my face, probably.
Her breath, I think. I feel her breath on my face.
Her body close to me.
Yep.
Can't look in her eyes. She's out of my league.
She's out of my league. But
Who
really,
was out of
exactly.
Patrick Swayze's league back then?
He was out of
Come on.
her league
Oh.
by far. but I still loved that they got together.
Yeah.
The lyrics of this song are.
Even though they hated each other on that film.
Did they really?
Yes. Yeah. They did not get along on that film, apparently.
Really? I don't think that's true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking it up.
Okay.
What's her name? And Jennifer Lawrence. Oh, Jennifer Grey.
Jennifer Grey.
Not Jennifer Lawrence. Had a tense relationship at first, but they eventually made amends and developed chemistry while filming Dirty Dancing. Okay, well, tense feud. Okay, who knew?
I love that. I love that scene in Dirty Dancing when she's like she comes with a lot of watermelon.
With
She's
a wa-
like,
yeah.
I
carried a watermelon.
I carried a watermelon.
I know.
And then the scene when she's finished, when the thing's over and she's on the bridge going back to their cabin,
Yeah.
and she's trying to do
She's
the dance,
dancing on
and
it.
she's getting it all. She's like,
She's feeling sexy, and then she looks around to make sure nobody saw
and
her.
she keeps getting it wrong. She's like,
I know. But even like that whole sequence when they're training and stuff,
Yeah.
and they're doing it on the branch that's the tree that's
oh
falling
yeah,
over.
yeah.
Oh, so beautiful.
It's such a great film.
It's
Yeah.
so romantic, and it's one of those movies where you actually can see their romance developing. Because a lot of times I feel in romance movies, it's like, oh, they hate each other at first, and then all of a sudden they just like each other. Something happens and they just like each other, but they kind of hate them. But in this movie, you see the way it develops, and it's just so beautiful. I loved it so much. Her
Everybody's
sister,
baby in a corner.
yeah, that's another great. I mean, who doesn't remember that line? I feel like I'm carrying a watermelon is the lesser known of the lines, but her sister and the hula 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 now. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So well done. Anyways, about the
So well
song.
done. Well, I mean, it's just so sung by Patrick Swayze. The video is very, it's just so melodramatic. It's so much. I think it's black and white. It's just images of his face as he's singing and stuff. It's a very cheesy song. I mean, the lyrics are not great.
And was that written also for the movie?
It was pitched for the movie. I believe he lobbied hard to get it into the movie. Yeah.
Interesting.
But he never had another hit after that. This one hit number one, and
So did
was
did he write it for the movie, or did he have the song and pitch it for the movie?
so he did write it, and it's from the soundtrack. So it's
When was
says,
it written?
1987.
Okay.
So he co-wrote it with Stacy, somebody. I don't know if that was his wife. He played it for the producer, and then kind of pitched to have it on the soundtrack, and they took it in. I mean, he was such a
Babe.
hot babe. Like, why wouldn't you want to have the star of your movie, who was a huge star at the time?
Yeah, he was.
You know, why wouldn't you want to have a song by him?
Yeah.
It was the right call, even if the song's a bit.
Yeah.
wah, wah.
Well, there's a lot of cheesy songs in that
So
movie.
many cheesy songs.
But yeah, it's great. Yeah. But again, I think you had said something about you had asked about the style of the music a few minutes ago.
Right.
And I think that, when you think about these movies, especially in those eras, they were kind of schmaltzy and cheesy.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think it was an 80s thing. It was just very kind of schmaltzy is the perfect word for it.
But even, actually, if you think about even the Star is Born, there are a couple of schmaltzy songs in that.
How fucking dare you? How
Come
dare
on.
you?
It is a good soundtrack, but there are a couple of them
Which
that are a
ones?
bit like.
Tell me
come
right
on.
now.
I
Which
can't-
ones?
I can't think of it.
Well, then shut your mouth. You shut your mouth right now, Mike. You shut your mouth.
Okay.
Oh, the only ones that are schmaltzy are the ones when Lady Gaga's character becomes a star of her own, and she's
That's
like,
what I mean.
body,
That's what I mean.
hips, legs, some stupid song. like
Yeah,
that.
no, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like it is like I think it's a part of writing a song for a film. Like you've
Right.
got to try and fit the style or the theme or I don't know, the vibe of what
True.
the film is trying to.
Except that I think with so far the songs we've talked about, they're more backgroundy songs. Well, except for You're the One That I Want. Like You're the One That I Want was in the movie. But the songs written for Shallow are all songs that the characters perform
Songs
as
written for Shallow.
the songs written for A Star Is Born are all written as songs that the characters sing as their
Yeah.
pop star characters. And so, I mean, the songs written for Lady Gaga's character in that are really cheesy because she decides to go on a more pop route, whereas Bradley Cooper's character is more kind of grounded in country or country folk or something.
But didn't Lady Gaga write those songs as
She
well?
did.
Yeah.
She did. I'm just saying, like, she wrote them specifically to be sort of silly, ridiculous pop songs.
Right, right.
To show, like, the difference between the songs that
Oh,
he
was that why she wrote them that way?
Well, yeah.
It was about a juxtaposition?
Well, I mean, I don't know if
that was the intention?
If that's going to be the intention of what you'd read. But in terms of the character,
okay.
I think it seems pretty obvious because her character starts off just as his sidekick and his duet partner.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets this offer to be her own star. But that machine turns her into this, you got to dance, you got to do the choreography, you got to have sexy songs, you got to do this and that. And it sort of molds her into this artist that she wasn't really wanting to be. And that his character is like, I don't know what you're doing, but this is not you. And this is not the kind of performer you want to be. That's kind of what the whole movie was about. Did you watch the movie, Mike?
I did.
Have you seen the movie?
I did, but I actually didn't get that takeaway, so I don't remember.
Yeah, if you watch it again, and I have been thinking of watching it again just because there's so many good songs in it.
Because that'll be what, the 90th time you've watched it?
No,
or?
it might be like the 4th.
Okay.
I watched it twice in theaters when it came out.
Right, yes.
And then I watched it, I think, once after.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I think about watching it, I'm like, can I deal with the heartbreak at the end? I don't know.
I know.
Even though you're ready for it.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay. So now, that was 1987. So now we go to Bette Midler's other song from 1988, Wind Beneath My Wings.
Okay, now talk about schmaltzy.
This is what I'm saying. All these 80s songs.
Yeah.
It's some bad lyrics.
Did you ever watch that film?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it tugged at the heartstrings a lot, right? But this is another song like The Rose where it was not written for the movie, first of all, but the lyrics are quite beautiful.
It wasn't written for the movie?
No, it wasn't. And it was performed by somebody else first.
Huh.
Yeah, I just looked that up 2 seconds ago. Anyways, let's go through some of the lyrics of this. It must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. So cheesy. You were content to let me shine. That's your way.
No, it's you were content to let me
What?
shine. That's your way.
It's so cheesy.
You always walked a step behind.
Oh,
So
did
I
you
was
ever
the
I know.
one with all the glory.
Now
You
he's
could
coming
be
out.
singing. You could be singing this to me.
I could. What do you mean? You always walked a step behind?
Yeah.
In karaoke.
I'm the wind beneath your wings.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Yes, I am.
You're a beautiful face without a name for so
Yeah.
long.
You're such a nobody.
Does it say that?
Well, basically,
lyrics?
she's saying that a beautiful face without
Just
a
say
name.
behind me.
Oh, you in the background with the beautiful face.
Thanks for giving me thanks for giving me my oh my God. Thanks for giving me my amazing life.
Yeah.
Now stay behind me, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, these lyrics are pretty brutal.
Yeah. I did not know that song was not written for the film. I thought it was written for the film.
No. I know. I thought so too because it seems so specific. The lyrics are actually quite beautiful. It kind of does tug at the heartstrings a bit, but again, in the performance of it, it's so over the top. It's kind of hard to even listen to the lyrics of it.
In a 2002 UK poll, Wind Beneath My Wings was found to be the most played song at British funerals.
Oh, is that what you want your song to become known as?
Well, interesting. It's, how there are some songs you're like, this is totally a wedding song.
Yeah.
This song is totally a funeral song.
Okay. That's kind of dark. I don't know if I would want to play that at my funeral. What song would you have played at your funeral? That's something to think about. Strangely, I was thinking about this just the other day and I was like, that's the song I would play at my funeral, but I would play. I guess I wouldn't play it.
You wouldn't be playing
Somebody would be playing it.
What song would I play or would I want to have played at my funeral?
I think I'd create a playlist for my funeral.
You're so controlling.
Oh, you mean the playlist part?
The playlist. And then you're like,
I'd be like, I put
okay,
it in my will.
in the first hour, these 9
If people
Taylor
start
Swift
losing
songs.
interest, you play this song to get them back around.
Yeah.
If nobody's dancing,
Yeah.
put this song on.
I've also put a compilation of all the videos of me singing karaoke. These are the songs.
Yep. To make everybody laugh. I don't want anybody crying at my funeral.
No. I don't know what song would I want to have played at my funeral.
I was thinking about this just literally yesterday or the day
You could
before.
put Stevie Wonder's Isn't She Lovely?
Oh,
Isn't she lovely?
that song, I don't know if you remember from Love Actually. I think that they play that at the funeral, don't they? At his wife's funeral over the like the video montage.
I can't
I
remember
thought
if
it
that
that
was a song, but that might be. Yeah.
I had a
Anyways,
perfect
okay.
song, but now I can't remember it. Okay.
All right, I'll think about my song. What I would want to play at my
Yeah,
funeral.
maybe we'll post that someday to our social.
Yeah, that's depressing.
Okay, maybe not. Okay. Okay, what's next? Because I jumped to 2005.
Yeah, you
after
go
this.
because we both had that one.
Okay. So the next person on the list is Jamie Foxx, who's actually had quite a career in music. Apparently, he's had a few top 10 hits and 2 number ones. So one was Slow Jams, which I do not remember myself. And the other one,
Slow jams like sweat drip down my
No,
dirt.
no.
Okay.
and Gold Digger with
Yeah.
Ye, Kanye, whatever you want to name him.
Okay, so Gold Digger, you like this song?
I
Any
love the
lyrics
song.
that stand out for you?
No, I can't say some of the lyrics in that.
Why?
She ain't messing with the gold digger, but then they say some bad words that I can't say.
Oh,
She ain't messing with the broke. They have to radio
Right.
edit version of it. Do you have some lyrics that stand out for you?
no. It
I
did
just
have
like
a
the
good
tune.
beat.
It did.
I do remember it being like
Yeah.
a bop, but
Okay, what's next for you? Because for me, I jump to 2018.
I don't really know of any Childish Gambino.
Have you ever heard his song, This Is America? No?
No.
You never saw the video? You never heard any of the...
I want to say I have, and I really wanted to listen, but I just didn't get the time because
Okay.
I was lying on the lounge chair beside the
Right,
pool
yep.
for 4 days.
Well, it
3 days.
debuted at number 1. It was he was the first hip hop artist to win Record and Song of the Year at the Grammys. It was the first rap song to win Song of the Year. It's about gun violence and being black in America. I remember just watching the video before, like when it first came out, as the not controversy, but as the buzz around it was really hyped up. But I remember seeing it very early on and thinking, what the fuck is this? This is just like unlike any video I've ever seen. It's shocking and graphic at times but it's very, very well done.
Okay, let me let's do a pause on this.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
What is the song?
This Is America.
All right. Well, that is a very interesting video.
Yeah, we just paused so that Mike could see the video and hear the song for the first time. So, reactions?
That's intense. Was that video released on like music? I guess there are no video music channels anymore or anything.
There
like
are.
that. It's just-
I mean,
are
Much
there?
Music still exists and MTV still exists. But I think mostly they release it on YouTube now. Or
Much
Vevo.
Music exists still?
Much Music still exists. But in the States, MTV certainly does. And like BET and stuff, they have different
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
graphic.
graphic
Yeah.
video.
Yeah. I mean, yes, but also like when they show the blood, like it's just a napkin or something coming out of the gun at one point. And then there are so many layers to this. I had to actually do a bit of a deep dive into it. And there are some scholars who have broken it down. It's really impressive how they put this together. So it's all about gun violence and being black in America. And, you know, there's a scene where the choir is singing, the gospel choir, and then he guns them all down with an AK-47 or something, which is pulled from real life. Anyway, so this song is extremely political, as you can see. And it was pretty amazing that it won all those big awards. But just like we were talking about this year's Grammys with Not Like Us and Kendrick winning with that song, which was also had its own kind of political statements, but had some questionable lyrics. So Grammys are, I don't know, I guess they're trying to reflect like what's
When was that released? 2018?
2018.
Wow. Okay.
7 years ago. Seems like it wasn't that long
Yeah.
ago.
He has kind of wrapped up the Childish Gambino moniker
Yeah, he's
now,
wrapped that
hasn't he?
persona up. Yeah, he's kind of focusing mostly on acting now. Yeah, and he's great. I love him as a performer.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch him in Community?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
And did
funny.
you watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
No, I did not.
It's great.
Is it?
It's
Yeah.
really good. The TV version is so good. I loved it. I loved him and the girl, Maya Erskine, I think is her name. I might be making that up. I think that's somebody completely different.
Did he write or produce any of that?
Yeah, he did.
I'm not surprised because reading up a little bit about him and because I wanted to know why did he do this Childish Gambino persona?
Right.
Why that? And, he talks about it as a project that he wanted to explore.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why he was wrapping it up was that, he feels like he's done.
He's done it.
The project's done, and there's
Okay.
nothing more to explore with this. I would think, like, for some of these actors who are multi-talented,
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to express themselves, I would think, especially if they're actors in, these big productions, or I guess actors in anything, you're really constricted with how much you can kind of explore your own creativity, because the character, it puts confines on your expression, your artistic expression. Like, of course you can, I would think as an actor, you've got some liberties in how you want that character to be, but
you're not going to break out into song
No.
if the character doesn't call for it. Yeah.
or if you have things that you want to say. So these actors like
Donald C. Glover.
Donald C. Glover, he strikes me as somebody who's a much more cerebral kind of artist. And
that song was named the
multi-talented.
6th best song of the year by Billboard.
Hmm.
So that's impressive too.
Hmm.
Right. What's next for you?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Oh, well, you're done. Well, I only have one more, which is, and we've already kind of touched on it, Bradley Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
So coming all the way around full circle from when we were talking about Lady Gaga at the beginning, so not musicians who've become actors. Famously, he duetted with Lady Gaga on Shallow, and that hit #1 in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and his voice is just gorgeous, isn't it?
Tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world?
Oh my God, just a beautiful, beautiful song.
That's one of our staples.
It is. And I gotta say, like, every song on this album, I feel like could have been a hit. So many of the songs on this album could have been a hit. Not the ones where she plays the pop star, that's for sure. But a lot of the songs could have been hits, and they're all really well written. I think you're exactly right when you're talking about actors wanting to show other sides of their talent, or of just wanting to be able to express themselves in different ways, because Bradley Cooper, not only with A Star Is Born, which he really championed, he also then did the Leonard Cohen. Was it Leonard Cohen?
Maestro.
So Bradley Cooper also made the movie Maestro about Leonard Bernstein.
Right. Yeah.
So he has a real, like, he's somebody who really has a big appreciation for music.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that we get to see him or hear him singing on screen again.
Well, who knows? You never know. He might.
He just might.
He might be working on a pop song with
Gaga?
Troye Sivan.
Oh, God.
Well, this was quite the list, and there are so many more, but let's not go down that road.
Let's not. We're done for today, I think.
Are we done for today?
I think so.
All right, listeners. Well,
Mike's trying not to say all right, but he keeps saying it.
thanks to the listeners for listening to this episode, and let us know what you think. You can slide into our DMs on Instagram, and our Instagram handle is The Little Podcast, or send us an email at lifesinthelyrics@gmail.com.
And you can also, if you've enjoyed this or previous episodes, you can like, follow, share, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff.
Thanks for listening, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Bye!